Now, I know it's hard to picture anything with this wallpaper still up, but at least you can get the idea with the hideous plates gone and those tacky country gewgaws. Good morning.
Mom, this is Winky. Winky, this is my mother, Maxine Gray.
Owner of the hideous plates and tacky country gewgaws.
Oh, well, now Amy says you work, so I know you haven't had much time to update.
No, actually, I'm a fan of hideous and tacky motif. Amy, when I went to bed last night, the kitchen wasn't naked.
Oh, now Amy needs a blank slate.
Blank slate.
Well, I need a toaster.
It's in there.
Now, I better get shopping for wallpaper. I'm thinking of something in this family.
The Red family?
Actually, this is watermelon.
Could we maybe go for something a little less watermelon?
Now, let's keep an open mind. I'll bring by some more samples. Well, I better get myself busy. This poor house has waited long enough. Bye-bye now.
Toodaloo.
Okay, Mom, before you crank it up, remember you promised to be supportive.
Winky?
It's not a real name.
Oh, so she changed it to Winky. Well, that makes me feel better.
Lauren, breakfast in 5 minutes.
For Winky's information, this wallpaper was top of the line, and it's today.
So was the Titanic. Hey, Donna.
Judge Gray, do you remember when I asked you if it would be okay if I followed your mother around for a couple of days to do research for my paper for my Law in the Family course, and you said it would be fine?
Oh, really? Amy said that.
I may have said that I was reasonably sure it would be okay, Donna being almost a member of the family and all.
Well, I just realized that my paper's due at the end of this week, so I need to take you up on your offer. Soon. Today.
Today? That would be soon.
Well, I know it's short notice and a big imposition, but it's 60% of my grade.
The last time you asked me for a favor, you had a baby in my dining room. Well, so I suppose this is comparatively small potatoes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I promise you won't even know I'm there. I'll go get some lattes and biscotti, and I'll meet you down at your office. Okay. Did I say thank you?
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay.
You know how much I hate being followed around at work with all the critiquing and opining. I don't even let Sean Potter do that.
Well, Mom, it's just a few days, so how bad could it be?
I would rather be trapped in a coal mine with 3 Republicans and a lapdog.
That's the spirit.
And Winky.
We have 3 custody cases back to back. I figured to get the snipping parents out the way.
Zola.
I don't think it's a good idea to discuss any fraternization with the opposite gender.
You're fraternizing?
This is me ignoring you.
Okay, let me get this straight. As long as we work together, we can't have any relationship, not even a friendship. But here you are cavorting with your lawyer?
You are jumping to huge and erroneous conclusions, which I would tell you if we were discussing our personal lives, which we are not. Would you like coffee?
If she is just your lawyer, then she doesn't fall into the personal life category.
Good.
Amy?
Helene, is there an appointment I forgot about?
No, you had a mediation hearing.
I know. 1 o'clock, I'm there.
It isn't happening. Michael canceled.
Well, I've canceled the last 2 times. I guess it's his turn.
Well, I don't mean the hearing. I mean the mediation. Michael withdrew. I got a call from his attorney.
We left it with me thinking over his proposal. Why would he withdraw now?
I thought you might know. Any recent flare-ups?
No.
Anything you want to tell me?
It's my court services officer.
That's him? Well, the improper conduct allegations suddenly make sense. You didn't lie to the Judiciary Committee?
No, I did not. Can we just focus on the current crisis, Helene?
That's all I know. His attorney left me a message and said we'd be hearing from him.
Well, let me know when we do.
You didn't lie to the Judiciary Committee.
Goodbye, Helene.
was that woman in 4B, wasn't it? Oh, she's always griping about my kids making noise.
We have a report of a school-age child not in school.
My children are homeschooled.
Doesn't she have to have proof? Well, anyone could say their kid is homeschooled.
Kevin, what was that?
Stupid face.
You better not be teasing Tracy again.
Mrs. Weston, how many children do you have?
Kevin, he's 8. Tracy, she just turned 5. Michael's 10. He's at the Quick Pick getting some milk. And this is Denise.
Should Michael be walking to the Quick Pick by himself? I have impulse control issues.
Well, get over them.
The Quick Pick is just 2 blocks away, and he knows how to cross the street. Look, I haven't done anything wrong, and I really don't have time to chat.
Mrs. Weston, I can see that you have your hands full. But, if you'd like to apply, DCF has services that might help.
Do I look that naive? You're here to find a way to take my kids away from me. You people don't allow for normal life circumstances.
Such as?
I get depression, okay? I get over it in a few weeks, and so maybe my kids will be loud for a while, maybe my house will be a mess, so what?
Are you seeing a psychiatrist?
Yeah, 5 times a week in my spare time, and he works for free.
I don't mean lie on a couch and tell him your problems. I mean a physician who could prescribe an antidepressant.
Those things cause cancer for all anybody knows. I was on the fen-phen diet, and I still have to have my heart checked from that. If you don't mind.
Ms. Weston, these are my numbers. I wish when you get a minute you'd give me a call. I'm certain that we can figure out a way to help you.
Okay, fine, whatever.
In the matter of Sonia Haskell, age 6, the petitioner is Sonia's mother, Penny Haskell, who is seeking to modify the custody agreement.
We're seeking full custody, Your Honor.
Right, and since your client currently has joint custody, full custody would qualify as a modification. The respondent, Sonia's father, Kurt Haskell, is also asking for full custody, and the petitioner alleges sexual abuse on the part of the respondent. And Mr. Radford, you're going to have to explain to me what your client is alleging, because I've read your brief twice now, and I have no idea what it means.
Your Honor, we intend to prove that Sonia Haskell is a victim of malicious alienation syndrome.
Which, as far as I can tell, means you think her mother talks badly about her father. Could we just say that?
With respect, Your Honor, this is an actual syndrome, and we have an expert witness who will explain it to you better than I can.
Your Honor, their so-called expert.
Yes, I know, Miss Manson. Your expert can beat up their expert. Well, noting the Dobert reliability test, I will hear the experts, and after testimony, I will rule on the scientific validity of this alleged syndrome. And when will we hear that testimony, Mr. Van Exel?
Tomorrow, 11:15.
Tomorrow, 11:15. I'll see everyone then. Next case. Hey, Michael.
Amy.
You want to come in?
Alicia's in the car. Is Lauren ready?
I thought we could talk.
I don't have time. My mother's expecting us in 10 minutes. Could you please call Lauren?
Lauren, your father's here. Why did you cancel mediation?
I don't want to talk about that.
I said I'd consider your proposal. If there was a time limit on it, you should have told me.
I'll bring her back at the end of the day Thursday, as we agreed.
Are you going to answer my question?
Come on, sweetie. Get in the car. Alicia's waiting for us.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Noodle. Have fun. Hey, Michael. If this is your way of trying to bully me into accepting your proposal?
Amy, on the advice of my attorneys, I'm not to speak to you about this. Good night.
Kylie, you busy in here?
Very. I am in the middle of a fascinating article about Stucky, the mummified coon dog.
Huh. Well, I don't want to pull you away from that.
He's on display in Atlanta, Georgia, and as far as modern science is able to discern, he is the only mummified coon dog on the planet.
There's a woman out here looking for you.
I'm for it.
Not that kind of woman.
How do you know?
Because she's a little too old for you. And her hair wouldn't move in a wind tunnel.
Dr. Harris, please pick up extension 2265. Dr. Harris, please pick up extension 2265.
What are you doing here?
Doesn't your mother even get a hug?
Somebody die?
Of course not, and don't be morbid.
Hit my head.
Is there someplace nicer where we can talk?
Yeah, there's a day spa on the second floor and a five-star restaurant on the roof.
So much for my hope that you'd changed.
I'm on duty now. I can't just walk out.
When are you off duty? This is my hotel. I'm not leaving town until you talk to me, so you might as well get it over with. Figure out your schedule and call me.
Then that weekend, she came home from his house and she wasn't herself.
How so?
She was quiet and kind of pouty, and she wouldn't come out of her room. And then finally, she told me what happened.
What did she tell you?
She said Daddy made me touch his you-know.
That is a flat-out lie.
Mr. Haskell, you're gonna have to wait your turn.
Am I supposed to just sit here while she tells hideous lies about me?
Yes, you are. And if she is telling hideous lies, then she will be in big trouble later on. Mrs. Haskell, were those your daughter's exact words? Did she say you know, or are you saying you know?
That's exactly what she said.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mrs. Haskell, isn't it true that you called your ex-husband a lying, jackass, bottom feeder in front of your daughter?
Objection.
Overruled. Please answer.
Yes, I did that. Once.
And didn't you also tell your daughter Daddy left because he doesn't love us anymore?
I may have said that in a fit of anger, but I apologized later.
How often do you make derogatory remarks about your ex-husband in front of your daughter?
I don't know.
An estimate.
I don't know.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I don't care what that noisy bag of wind told you. My kids are fine.
We had a report that two of your children were playing in the street at dusk, alone, and your wife was nowhere in sight.
Well, my kids don't play in the street at night. They know better.
Your wife is suffering from postpartum depression.
Are you a shrink, too?
No, I am not, and you're correct. Your wife should be diagnosed by a physician as soon as possible.
I don't want to take any of that crap.
What crap would that be?
Prozac or any of that other crap. They hand it out like it's candy, then 5 years down the road, they go, oh, whoops, we just found out it causes brain tumors.
Well, that's what your wife said. Almost exactly.
Yes, I noticed that. Mr. Weston, your wife says she has a history of postpartum depression.
We've been through this with every kid. She gets weepy. She's not getting enough sleep. She can't get into her jeans. 3 months, 6 months, whatever. She's over it.
What you need to understand is that
What I don't need is the government in my house or following me around at work telling me how to run my own family.
Mr. Weston, I'm concerned about your children's safety.
One nutcase drowns her kids in a bathtub, so now what? You gonna take everybody's kids so you can give them to some creepy foster family who's only in it for the money? Or lose them entirely? No, I read the papers, and I know about you people.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Nice butt, though. Did I say that out loud?
Coming.
Judge Amy Gray,
Yeah?
you are served.
I thought I heard the front door.
I tried to like him when you married him. I tried to like him when you divorced him, now that he is trying to take your child away. I'm officially done. Come on in the kitchen. I'll make you some cocoa.
Malicious alienation syndrome is a disorder which most commonly arises in the context of a child custody dispute. Its primary manifestation is the child's campaign of denigration against the parent, in this case, the father.
And why, in your expert opinion, would a child launch this campaign?
The disorder results from the combination of the brainwashing parent's indoctrination and the child's own vilification of the disenfranchised parent.
Okay, if I could interject a little English here. You're saying that you believe Sonia Haskell is making up these lies against her father to get in good with her mother.
Well, that is a very simplistic way of putting it, but yes, that is the basic concept of the syndrome.
Your Honor, this so-called syndrome was invented by Dr. Larrabee and has never been subjected to empirical study, testing, or research. Nor has it ever been published in any peer-reviewed medical journal.
None of that invalidates my clinical experience.
Dr. Larrabee, have you actually interviewed the child in question?
That has not been possible. As is typically the case, the alienating parent is not willing to subject the child's story to any outside scrutiny.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned before, I will be hearing motions to strike the expert testimony after I've heard all the expert testimony, and Mr. Van Exel will tell us when the next expert will testify.
4:30 this afternoon.
I'll see you all then. Thank you.
I've got 5 minutes before I have to make rounds on ICU.
Well, that sounds so impressive. Say hello to your sister.
Hi, Kyle.
Susie, if this is an intervention, I hate to disappoint you, but I don't have any vices left.
I told Susie that I was coming to see you, and she decided to join us.
You look good.
Thank you.
I wish I could say the same for your hospital. I guess you had to go where they would take you. Is there
There's
someplace?
someplace nicer.
You're right, we do have an agenda. Susie and I are throwing a big party for your father's 65th birthday, which you may remember is coming up. Black tie, dinner, dancing, 200 guests. We booked the grand ballroom at the Ritz-Carlton.
I hope you all have a great time.
Will you at least hear me out?
If you will explain to me why you are throwing this dinner.
A lot has happened since you've been gone. Your father and I have, well, I wouldn't say reconciled, but I guess you'd call it dating.
Are you a glutton for punishment?
People change, Kyle.
He doesn't change.
It's just for one night. It's not going to kill you, and it would mean a great deal to your father.
He doesn't need me. He has Susie to play the perfect daughter, and the lovely and talented Walt can drive her there in his Porsche.
I thought you liked Walt.
Oh, I pretended to like Walt so I wouldn't offend all the other people who pretended to like Walt.
If this is recovery, I liked you better as a drug addict.
All right, you two. Susie, you know damn well that Walt can be a horse's ass. And Kyle, it is not your sister's fault that she's made something of her life and you didn't.
I'm in the process. Thank you.
So you believe that you can change, but Dad can't?
I made a reservation for the three of us for tomorrow night at the High Line. I understand that your shift ends at 7 o'clock, so I made the reservation for 8. It will give you time to shower and dress, and I'll send a car for you.
Are you also going to send a guy with a gun?
Kyle, we came all the way here. The least that you could do is have dinner with us.
I have my own car. Thank you.
Hello, Kevin. May we come in?
My mom says not to let strangers in the house.
That's very good advice. But we're not strangers. We were here the other day, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Where's your mother?
She's taking naps. She has to take naps.
I see. Would it be possible for you to wake her and let her know that we're here?
We're not supposed to wake her up.
Where's everybody else?
Michael's at the laundromat. The others are in the kitchen. We're cooking lunch.
Why don't you show me?
Kevin, help! Mom! Mom, there's a fire!
Donna! Donna, get the phone. Call 511 0501 and give me the phone.
What's going on in here?
Your unsupervised children were cooking. And you're lucky they didn't burn the place down with everybody in it. Sean, yes, I need you to authorize an emergency removal for 4 children and get me on somebody's docket for an OTC. Yeah, and could you check the list and see who can handle 4 children on short notice?
You're not going to take my children. You're not going to take my children.
Yes, Mrs. Weston, we are. Donna, take the children to the car, find out where the laundromat is. I will find a neighbor to stay with Mrs. Weston for a while.
You can't take my children.
Yes, I can.
Is Mommy coming with us?
I would prefer not to have to call the police and cause a big, horrible spectacle and cause your children more trauma, but I will do that if I have to.
Studies have shown that children rarely lie about sexual abuse, especially when accusing a parent. A child's natural instinct is to protect a parent.
Have you had a chance to interview Sonia Haskell?
Yes, I spent almost 2 hours with her.
Objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Radford, the fact that your expert has not interviewed Sonia Haskell does not invalidate Dr. Levin's observations. You may answer.
Her description of what happened was quite graphic. And that's the most typical symptom of sexual abuse in my extensive experience.
Let's have an informal chat about all the extensive experience in this room. Dr. Levin, do you by any chance belong to an organization which represents children who are victims of sexual abuse?
In fact, I'm on the board of directors of the Children's Aid Alliance, which is a child advocacy group dedicated to supporting victims of sexual abuse.
And by any chance, have you written a book on the subject?
2, actually.
And, Mr. Radford, how many books did you say your expert had written?
4, Your Honor. Well, 5 if you include the one she's currently editing.
Oh, what the heck? Let's do. And just out of curiosity, have any of these books been published by someone other than a vanity press? I must be psychic. Counsel, do you have any experts who are free from self-serving motivations? Okay, well, the next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to interview Sonia Haskell.
Is that really necessary?
Apparently it is.
Cool, but Christmas lights. Can I help?
Put on a warmer jacket.
Hey.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, kitten.
Hey, Michael. Want to tell me what the hell you're doing?
I've already told you I can't.
I know. You're attorney. Since when are we not speaking face to face?
And since you're trying to take my daughter away from me, don't you think you owe me an explanation?
My attorney.
A face-to-face explanation, Michael? Have you turned into a wimp? You do everything behind my back?
Behind your back. I'm sorry, did I miss the part where you told me that you had a lunatic stalking you?
I was going to tell you.
When? What else haven't you told me? And given the events of the last couple of weeks, Amy, what do you need me to explain?
Okay, I'm ready. Mom. Mom.
So, what's on our schedule for today? Any more child snatching?
Donna, what exactly is the premise of this paper?
It's about the danger of, that is to say, the predicament of, or rather, the challenge of, I haven't entirely narrowed it down.
Maxine, you placed 4 children with the Overbys yesterday?
Temporarily. I'm going into court this afternoon for the OTC.
One of them's missing.
Missing?
Kevin, the 8-year-old. Apparently, he stole the Overbys minivan and he took off in it.
Have you notified the authorities?
I just got the call.
Maxine? Can I help? We need to find him fast. I mean, he's so little.
Start on the second page. Go. Answer. Answer the phone.
Sonia, why don't you want to see your daddy anymore?
My mommy told you about it.
Yeah, she did. But I need to hear about it from you.
I don't want to tell it again.
Well, I can understand that. But I have to find out the truth. Because I have to decide what's best for you.
I want to see my daddy again. Just not now.
Why is that? Sonia, this is pretty serious. This may mean that you never see your daddy again.
I'll see him again. Later.
Well, I'm going to decide about that.
I'll see him after I go to Disney World.
Who's taking you to Disney World? Your mom?
No, those people.
What people?
The ones that take you to Disney World when your daddy made you do something bad. My friend Jennifer went, and they even bought her a Toy Story snow globe.
Sonia, did you make up this story about your daddy so those people would take you to Disney World?
You won't tell, will you?
Brown hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing blue jeans and a red sweatshirt with Quick something. It's a skater brand.
Maxine, I found him.
Where?
Hartford General. He flipped the minivan on the interstate.
Go, 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 go!
Okay, I'm ready to rule.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Counsel, be seated. I will not be hearing motions to strike the so-called expert testimony. This entire case was based on a lie. Because Sonia's friend Jennifer was taken to Disney World by an advocacy group for sexually abused children, and Sonia borrowed the facts from Jennifer to try to secure a trip of her own. Now, Sonia needs a little time out and a lecture about lying, especially given the ramifications of this particular lie. And meanwhile, I am dismissing the motion and denying relief as to both parties. But while I still have you all here, I would like to announce a new syndrome. It's called the Angry Judge Syndrome. Now, I invented it myself, and even though I haven't written a book on it, that doesn't make it any less valid. The primary symptom of this syndrome is an irrepressible urge to unload on all deserving parties. Mrs. Haskell, you have created an atmosphere in your home which rewards your daughter for making up a vicious lie that could have ruined her father's life. Mr. Haskell, despite the fact that you were treated unjustly, you used the lie to try to get your daughter away from her mother without ever bothering to find out what really happened. And then you two call out your dueling, self-proclaimed experts that clearly don't give a damn about anything except putting this case on their resumes. And in the process, all of you have managed to trivialize a very serious issue and waste this court's time. Everybody in this room needs to grow the hell up. We're adjourned.
Bumps, bruises, minor lacerations from the glass. We're going to do a full set of x-rays to be sure, but I'm not concerned. If you're planning to scold him, at least thank him for wearing a seatbelt.
I thought I was stepping on the brake, but it was the gas pedal. I couldn't see.
I'm sure you couldn't, because cars are not built to be driven by 8-year-olds.
Are you gonna put me in jail?
No, but I am going to give you what is technically known as a good talking to.
Don't understand. My mom needs me to be there. I have to tell her not to hurt herself.
Well, you're right. I don't understand.
Does your mom say that she's gonna hurt herself?
She always says, I ought to take all the pills, or I ought to find out he's gone. And then I remind her stuff like, the baby needs her. We all need her. Even Daddy. And then she remembers. And she doesn't hurt herself. But if I'm not there, she took us all away from her. Who knows what she'll do now?
Donna, will you explain to Kevin that everything at his mother's house is fine? And I'll be right back.
Listen. My mother used to say she was gonna hurt herself too. Guess how old she is now.
He's all right. He's going to be here for a while.
I'm going to see him.
Mr. Weston, your son is in the system now, which means that the evil government worker, that would be me, is going to have a lot to say about where he goes next. So it would behoove you to impress me. What would impress me right now is for you to decide that since Kevin has doctors and nurses and me to stay with him, it would be wise for you to go home and get your wife to a mental health professional immediately. Of course, the choice is up to you.
I'll be back.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
This is how you dress to go home and pass out?
My mother and sister have blown into town.
Like an ill wind?
Why, don't I look delighted? I've never been good at this.
Here. I have society parents, too. They're furious at me for wasting my expensive education on the ghetto.
Is this what they teach you at Cotillion?
No. I have 3 brothers who are also not so good at this. There.
Great. Now I look like a well-dressed zombie.
No, you look good.
Dr. Rediker to OR. Dr. Rediker to OR.
Good luck.
Thank you.
My unsolicited advice?
Yeah.
Tell them to go to hell. Better than any drug you ever took.
Donna, is something wrong?
Not really. Except you flunked my paper.
Well, you haven't even written it yet.
I know. I can't write it. It needs to be balanced. You know, the pros and cons of the DCF. Some kids are saved, some kids are lost in the system, blah, blah, blah. You know, that caseworker in Florida, blah, blah, blah. All that trendy topical stuff my professor would lap right up.
I see. So you haven't gained anything from this experience that would help you to trash DCF?
You did everything just right.
I'm sorry. I can be annoying like that.
Oh, should have followed a bad social worker.
Donna, could you afford to spend one more day on research?
I guess so. Why?
I know where you can find a wealth of material. Oh, Kimberly, would you come over here for a moment? There's someone I'd like you to meet.
I'm like right in the middle of something.
You may need only half a day.
Look, I will come back for a weekend soon, but I'm not coming to this party.
Kyle, this is just a petty attempt to punish your father.
Thank you.
Susie, why are you in this? Did she ask you to come?
Could we finish discussing your father before you pick another fight with your sister?
I am not picking a fight. Just asking a question.
I'm here because I miss you, okay? We all miss you. And it would mean so much to Dad.
Oh, please. Once I stopped achieving, I stopped existing to him. God knows he doesn't want to explain where I've been.
If you're there, no one will ask where you've been.
And who gets the mineral water? So the ladies get the martinis.
Oh, God, for heaven's sakes. At least have a glass of wine.
Would you like to see the wine list?
I can't have a glass of wine. I'm an alcoholic, but I'm very happy with the mineral water.
Does everyone on this planet need to know that you think you're an alcoholic?
I think?
I know how this program works. You go in for one thing, and they convince you that you're addicted to everything.
Okay, what if we don't go down this road?
Mom, if you want to live in denial, it's fine.
You see, that's what they do. If you don't agree with them, you're in denial.
Okay, A, that is a load of crap. And B, do you realize that you're upset because now the waiter knows that you're the mother of an alcoholic?
I don't care what anyone thinks about me. Is that something else those people have been putting into your head?
For God's sake, Mom?
If you didn't care what anyone thought, we wouldn't even be sitting here. The only reason you want me to come to this damn party is because it'll be embarrassing for you to explain my absence.
You please lower your voice.
Why? You don't care what anyone thinks.
Kyle, you're causing a scene.
No, I'm not. Can I have everyone's attention, please? This may look like a gin and tonic from across the room, but it's actually a mineral water with a slice of lime because I am a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, which my mother doesn't want you to know, but oops. I guess I just let it slip. Enjoy your evening. Now I'm causing a scene.
Kyle.
Take care of yourself.
Scoop, because that's what ice cream says.
They put jokes on bubblegum wrappers?
I read somewhere that it takes a maraschino cherry 14 years to digest it.
I would love to know how that study is conducted.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, it's Amy!
Well, Maxine invited me for ice cream, and I came, even though I should be picking up Ariadne at the babysitter. And I invited Kyle, who came, even though he should be sleeping.
And I invited Lauren.
Who should be doing her homework?
And what should you be doing?
Evidently, I should be on my way to the store to get more ice cream.
Ah, there's plenty. Pull up a spoon. You know, I figured something out. When I was growing up, my mother was always ragging on your family.
What did she say?
You know, that Maxine was
overbearing and opinionated, that Edward was obstinate, and that Peter was a long-haired know-it-all, and so on.
And so on, like what?
Vincent was weird and probably gay, and that you were stuck up and bossy.
Is this gonna turn around at some point?
Well, what I realized that she saw that she couldn't stand was a family that worked because she didn't have one.
Does she still not like us?
No, she's too busy not liking me. I really think that's it. I think she was jealous of you.
Well, she should be. We're fabulous.
Who can do?
Oh.
Cool, how do you do that?
It's an art.
Well, I'll get that. Wouldn't want to interrupt the art. Hey, Lane. Come on in.
Is Lauren here?
Everybody in the world seems to be here.
I can't stay. I'm just going to leave this for you.
What is it?
It's a file I received from Michael's attorney.
You look upset. How bad can it be?
Amy, it's everything. It's stuff he couldn't possibly know, except evidently he's had a detective trailing you for over a year.
You can't be serious.
I wish I weren't. It's all in there. I can tell you every guy you slept with in the last year, including Judge Crumble. And apparently, you went skinny dipping with Stu Collins. A lot of stuff you never mentioned to me.
Because it's nobody's damn business.
Well, it is now.
Fine. I wasn't a nun. It's the 21st century. He can't take my kid away from me for that.
There's more.
Oh, my God.
That's your CSO, isn't it? The one with whom you didn't have an affair?
I didn't.
Even if that's true, nobody's going to believe you. Spend the evening with this. Call me in the morning.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, Amy faces a tough decision on declaring a missing child legally dead. Don't miss the drama of judging.
Are you driving carpool every week?
No. I'm just doing your mother a favor.
Do I have a fever? I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
You're fine. Cindy, what did we just decide about bubblegum?
Sorry, Mrs. Gray. I completely forgot.
Did you completely forget, or did you do something similar to completely forgetting?
What? This music sucks.
I will not have that language in this car.
I want to listen to my music.
Have you composed something?
Taylor's mom lets us play Eminem.
I will speak to Taylor's mom about that.
Cut it out! You're smushing me! You started it! Maxine!
Jonah, I have several decades on you. You will address me as Mrs. Gray.
He's hitting me!
No hitting.
He's flicking spit bubbles at me!
No spit bubbles!
Grandma, I figured it out. Think I'm car sick from all the swerving.
Lauren.
Oh my God.
What is going on back there?
I lost my gum.
Gross.
Please try and find it.
First, it's in my mouth. Then, it's totally gone.
Cindy, you are going to have to get clearer now. Is it totally gone, or is it as if the gum is totally gone?
Free? What?
Move over! Get off me! Jonah's sitting on me!
Maybe you're driving
Stop hitting
too
me!
fast.
That's it!
Cut it out!
Everybody hang on!
out of the car. Cindy, out of the car. Zachary next to her? Okay. I've had it with you people. Who drives the car? Me or you? Do you have a driver's license? No, you don't. Do you know how to drive a car? You do not. I am the one who has to be happy in carpool, not you. There will be tears tonight, and they won't be mine. You think this is funny? Spit that gum out. Spit it out!
It goes to your credibility, Amy, as a parent, not to mention as a judge.
That's completely unfair.
Of course it is. But look at it from their side. You testified to the Judicial Ethics Committee that you were not romantically involved with your CSO.
I wasn't. And I'm not. I told you he was not my CSO when that happened.
And was that the only time that something happened?
Okay, first of all, nothing happened. It was just a kiss. And to answer your question, no, we kissed 4 minutes earlier on the couch. Sadly, my window blinds prevented Helma Newton from getting a shot of that one.
Amy.
Can we put those away? I don't need to see them anymore. I was there.
Michael's not pulling any punches. You're in court all day. Do you know what a bomber is? It's a divorce lawyer who's partial to napalm.
Michael's hired a bomber?
Michael hired the Unabomber. I just got off the phone with that guy. You need to open your house to a court-appointed family relations officer for an observational visit.
What? Forget it.
Amy.
Tell Michael when he opens his house, I'll open mine.
He already did. Michael, Leisha, and Lauren were observed last weekend.
Lauren didn't mention anything about that.
Want to set a time for this?
Fine, whatever. You can come anytime. I don't have anything to hide. I gotta get going. I'm covering probate this morning. How bad is this gonna be?
Imagine brain surgery. Now take away the anesthesia.
We're in the cafeteria. He's got a tray full of desserts. And he turns to me dead serious and he says, Heather, do these scrubs make my ass look fat?
And the correct answer is, of course, no. It's the Pop-Tarts and the chocolate eclairs that make your ass look fat.
See? That would have been perfect. Where were you 5 minutes ago?
It's on the roof.
Smoking again?
No, I was looking for the bat signal. It's easier to spot from up there. Perfect consistency of roofing tar. I think I'll pass.
I've had worse. If you get a chance, you should refile those x-rays.
If I get a chance?
Seniority. I'll arm wrestle you for it if you like. Loser refiles them. Unless, of course, you're scared because you know I work out.
Come here, look at this.
Yep. That's a spine. I'd recognize it anywhere.
Second vertebrae right here.
Oh, God.
Tell me if I'm wrong. I think that's a break. It looks like a hangman's fracture.
How did you spot that?
A century ago, I was going to be a neurologist.
Right. Johns Hopkins. Show off.
Tell me something else. A C2 fracture means this guy goes directly to ICU, and his x-ray goes with him.
So what's it doing here?
That's what I'm wondering. He was released?
That's what it says. Otis Arnold, 49 years old, bicycle accident, sprained neck, released at 11:30 last night.
Sprained neck, it's a fracture. This guy so much as sneezes, he could sever his spine. He should be in the ICU right now.
Don't snap at me, doctor. I didn't release him.
Who did?
Read the damn file yourself.
I don't believe it.
What? Who's he attending?
Dr. Redeker.
Lily?
I am looking at a presumption of death motion. Mrs. Powell is petitioning the court to have her son, Matthew, legally declared deceased. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Powell, I take it that you are contesting this declaration of death.
Vehemently, Your Honor.
Well, I can only imagine what you two have been through, and my sympathies are with you. Mrs. Powell, your son disappeared 4 years ago?
Yes, that's right.
4 years and 3 months.
And you do understand the presumption of death would be automatic in the eyes of the court after 7 years?
Yes, I understand.
Mrs. Powell is pursuing the declaration now because she intends to file civil charges against the man she believes killed her son. A declaration of death would establish an estate for her son, which would in turn allow her to file a wrongful death lawsuit.
And the man you believe killed your son is...
He's in state prison on unrelated charges. He'll be up for parole next year.
Have criminal charges been filed against this man for your son's murder?
No.
Why not?
Because there's every chance in the world that Matthew is still alive.
I'm sorry, Mr. Powell. You will have your turn to speak.
The district attorney's office has its own agenda and moves at its own speed. We remain hopeful, but Mrs. Powell wants her day in court.
I'm not interested in damages, Your Honor. I want to know what happened to Matthew. I want my questions answered. And I want a court of law to find him guilty. This isn't about money. I want to see that this man doesn't get away with what he did to my boy.
Mr. Powell, you believe your son is alive?
I know he is. Look, right here, I have got private investigators' reports, testimonies from eyewitnesses who say they have seen Matthew, hundreds of leads collected from a website I set up.
We'd like the notebooks entered into evidence. For the last 4 years, my client has devoted his life to searching for his son. A declaration of death from this court will effectively and prematurely end the official investigation of missing persons.
Well, I'll need some time to go through this documentation, so I'll hear arguments
This afternoon at 2 o'clock.
this afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Otis Arnold, A-R-N-O-L-D, 49 years old, African American. My name is Dr. Labont. Thanks.
If he does come in, you need to have him lie down on his back looking at the ceiling, call 911, and then call me at St. Mike's.
Now, lock.
They said he only comes in there a couple nights a week. I have a list of other shelters.
I'll try his sister again. Kyle? You want me to talk to her?
Lily.
What's going on here? I was paged 3 times. I kept calling and I can't get through.
Yeah, we've been kind of tying up the phones.
Why?
In here.
Talk to me, Kyle.
You saw a patient last night, Otis Arnold.
I saw a lot of patients last night. We had 3 car wrecks in a row coming here.
Around 10:30, Chart said he was in a bike accident.
Yeah, I remember him. He had a sprained neck. What did I miss?
It's a fracture.
Let me see the film.
C2, right there. I've been trying to get a hold of him all morning, but so far no luck.
Give me his file.
What is this?
A basket of cookies?
I see that. What I meant was why. Has Sean achieved some personal milestone I don't know about?
From his client. Do you want me to pull up a chair for you? Get you some popcorn? That was our line, wasn't it? I'm just gonna be over here, far away from you.
Morning, Sean.
Oh, Maxine, I was just talking about you. This is Allison Shepard, one of our new foster parents. Allison, Maxine Gray.
We appreciate the help.
My pleasure.
Maxine here is the backbone of DCF. Which, of course, would make me the coccyx. I don't really know what that means. I just like saying coccyx.
Thanks again, Sean.
Right. Any other concerns, you know where to find me.
Great. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Gray.
Miss Shepard? Well, she seems very fond of you.
She's brand new to all this. Needed someone to talk to. All right, Maxine, what's the problem? Give me the stink eye. What's on your mind?
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't think we should be accepting gifts from foster parents or any other clients.
What gifts, Maxine? They're cookies.
Doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't look right.
How does it look?
It looks like an inappropriate relationship, and it looks as if you are encouraging it.
That is ridiculous. She's thanking me. I'm helping her through a tough time.
Yes, Sean, that's our job. We help people through tough times. We get paid for it. We don't get cookies, too.
What is wrong with taking some cookies?
Because sometimes cookies are not just cookies.
What? Look, we just placed a 14-year-old girl with Allison. A 14-year-old girl with a police record who's been in and out of juvenile detention. Sound familiar? So I've been spending a little extra time on this one because I thought it would be nice if this particular 14-year-old foster child didn't end up in prison. Allison chose to thank me by baking me cookies. If you have a problem with that, then don't eat the cookies. Fair enough?
6 weeks before Matthew disappeared, Darrell Wilkie, a repeat sex offender, was paroled from Vermont State Prison. At the time of Matthew's disappearance, Wilkie was living 3 miles from the Powell house in Connecticut. Witnesses report seeing Matthew the afternoon he disappeared, talking with a man in a rust-colored Dodge pickup truck. Darrell Wilkie drives a rust-colored Dodge Ram pickup truck.
Well, so far I'm with the state's attorney. Your case sounds circumstantial and without a body.
There's more. While searching Wilkie's garage, police found Matthew Powell's bicycle. When questioned, Wilkie claimed he got the bike at a yard sale and has denied any involvement in Matthew's disappearance. But a former cellmate of Wilkie's told investigators that Wilkie once said, "No one will ever find Matthew Powell's body."
And yet, despite all this evidence, the state's attorney's office is still unwilling to go forward and indict? Why do you suppose that is, Detective?
A murder trial without a body is always a gamble. No DNA evidence, the odds get worse.
Detective, I realize you're quite convinced that you know what happened to Matthew Powell. But are you pursuing other leads?
Absolutely. We pursue every lead that comes across our desk.
That's a lie. I have forwarded literally hundreds of leads to Detective Donahue, and I know for a fact his department has ignored half of them.
Your Honor, there simply isn't enough time or money to chase down every far-fetched anonymous report. Reports from psychics, tabloid reporters, armchair detectives.
Detective, isn't it true that if Matthew Powell is declared dead, there will be even less money and fewer resources available? And at that point, doesn't this case, for all intents and purposes, become closed?
In my opinion, and regardless of what happens here, this case is closed. I think you should declare Matthew dead and let these people move on.
Do you have any idea when your brother will be back? Has he called?
Oda doesn't care for the telephone. Either he shows up or he doesn't.
When he's not at your place, do you know where else he stays?
You been to the shelter?
We've been to 6 shelters and as many churches.
Well, he loves the holidays. Every church in town is giving away a free meal. You tried the Salvation Army? He helps out there this time of year.
We've already been there.
Then you've done what you can do. Otis, he's not one to leave a flight plan. Gets on his bicycle and goes.
Well, you have my number. If he does show up.
I know. On the floor, flat on his back, staring straight up. I got it.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question? You guys don't really make a lot of house calls these days, do you?
It's rare.
What happened? If there's something wrong with my brother, and there must be, or you wouldn't be here, why did the hospital let him go last night?
It was an administrative error. Sometimes when things get chaotic and the ER gets overrun, the system sometimes loses track of a patient.
Looks like you could use a better system.
Yeah.
What the hell was that back there?
Looked like you needed some help. I was trying to...
Cover my ass? You were making excuses for me.
Well, yeah, we're on the same side here. I thought that's what we do. You watch my ass, I watch yours.
I didn't ask you to lie for me. Don't do it again.
There's a park down the street from our house. Matthew was 9 years old at the time, and all he wanted to do was ride his bike. I told him he could ride around the block while I pushed Kelly on the swing. He gave us a little wave, biked off, and that's the last time I saw him. A week went by, and another. And Matthew's picture was all over the television, the newspapers. Hundreds of volunteers were combing the streets for him, and it became clear that he hadn't gotten lost, trying to find his way home. Someone took him.
Mrs. Powell, how long had you lived in Cromwell when Matthew disappeared?
About 6 weeks.
How was Matthew adjusting to the move?
It was difficult at first. It's a big change, but he was really trying.
Did he ever threaten to run away?
Sure he did. Once a week. He was 9 years old.
And the day he disappeared, isn't it true that he was upset that morning?
Yeah, sure, he was upset. You want to know why? His sister finished the Captain Crunch. He was just a regular kid. He was unhappy one minute, bouncing off the walls the next. But he was starting to fit in. School had begun. He'd made a couple of friends. He didn't run away. And even if he did, he wouldn't have stayed away. Not for 4 years. Not without a word. You know that, Tim.
Sean, I thought you'd gone.
No, I have a late meeting.
Don't work too hard. Did you just shave?
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't you shave this morning before you came to work?
Sometimes I do that, Maxine. Sometimes I shave twice a day.
Is the meeting tonight with your young foster mother?
Her name's Allison Shepard. She called me a couple hours ago. She needs to talk to me.
And she's on her way here.
No, meeting her downtown. A place called McGinley's.
You're meeting her at a bar?
They serve food, too.
Inappropriate, Sean. And it violates policy.
What policy?
Unwritten policy.
You know what? I'm the boss. I write the unwritten policy. I'm meeting her at a bar because it happens to be where she works. I would meet her here, but she only has a 20-minute break, okay? So do you think you could just back off just a bit and let me do my job?
All right.
Thank you.
Sean?
What?
You missed a spot. No, I'm sure she didn't mean to compare your son to... Well, there are any number of ways to interpret that. Oh, really? Those were her exact words. Yeah, I guess that's not really open to interpretation, is it? Yeah, she called me too. No, I think it's a great idea. Okay, apologize to your son for me. What did you do? No idea what you're talking about. Carpool this morning. You terrorized the children. I did nothing of the sort. Did you not pull the car over, make the children get out of the car, and yell at them at the side of the road? We had a discussion. Mrs. Harriman, the third-grade teacher, saw your discussion. She said it looked like you were lining the children up for execution. Mrs. Harriman? Is she not the one who locked herself in the greenhouse overnight? That was a long time ago. Oh, she's an idiot with tenure. Mom, this is the last thing I need. You know, every time the phone rings, it's another angry parent. You know what they want to do? They're gonna boot me out of carpool. They are not. Well, they're all coming over here tomorrow night to discuss the problem. Good. It will give me an opportunity to set things straight. No, you will be at the movies or at dinner. But we were going to decorate the tree. Mom, you're not coming anywhere near this meeting. Oh, Amy, that's ridiculous. Let me talk to them. Absolutely not. You have done enough already. You want me to get... Don't you dare.
It's true. We're not getting as many calls as we did the months after Matthew disappeared. Back then, the office fielded 400 or 500 calls a week.
What office is that?
The Matthew Powell Foundation. I started it 3.5 years ago to publicize Matthew's disappearance and coordinate the search.
It's quite an undertaking.
I took a leave from work.
And how many calls does the office receive these days?
It varies. As few as 25. It spiked to a couple of hundred last month when we went wide with this composite. I hired a forensic artist, a guy who used to work with the FBI to create this. We think there's a good chance this is what Matthew looks like now. He's He's 13 years old. In 1998, a similar type of composite was used to locate a boy who had been abducted 3 years earlier in Ohio. That boy is safe at home. It does happen, Your Honor.
So you don't believe Detective Donahue? You don't believe this Daryl Wilkie killed your son?
I think it is a significant lead and it bears continued investigation, but I think there are any number of equally plausible explanations.
Such as?
I mean, maybe he's being held against his will. Maybe he's been hospitalized. I mean, he could be overseas. There was a case in San Diego of a 2-year-old girl who disappeared from her bedroom and turned up in Puerto Rico 7 years later.
Your Honor, these cases are the rare exceptions.
Counselor, I'm aware of the odds. I believe my son is still alive.
Despite all evidence to the contrary.
Your Honor, I have personally sorted through over 100,000 tips and leads regarding Matthew. I've heard from people who have seen him.
You've heard from lonely old ladies and crackpots. People who want to make a dollar.
Not all of them. What about Kelly?
Oh, Tim, please don't.
Who's Kelly?
Kelly's Matthew's sister.
You said you wouldn't subject her to this.
Kelly saw Matthew?
Last year, at the town fair. You can ask her, she'll tell you.
I think I need to talk to Kelly.
Do you have that blood work for me?
What blood work?
Do the words even land in your head? Triage 2, the teenager. How many times do I have to ask for something?
Once would be nice.
You want to watch your tone with me, Doctor?
Dr. Reddick,
What is this?
it's the blood work on the teenager in triage 2. You asked me for it about 20 minutes ago.
Thank you. What do you want, a written apology?
You okay?
I'm peachy.
Maybe you should give yourself a break. Heather and I can cover the rest of the shift if you want to go home early.
Right, you mean before I kill someone else?
You didn't kill anybody, and any one of us could have made that mistake.
You didn't. You caught it right away.
Yeah, but it wasn't the middle of the night. I wasn't coming off a double shift, and I didn't have patients stacking up like airplanes over Bradley.
This is great. I don't even have to make up my own excuses. I'm getting my money's worth out of you.
Go home. You're just getting in the way here.
Hey, you haven't worked here long enough to talk to me like that. He's here. Call Connecticut Memorial Neurosurgery, try and get Bobby Levin. Mr. Arnold.
Dr. Reddick, good to see you again.
You're gonna be all right. Is there any pain? Are you feeling okay?
Well, I was, but as soon as I took off my beard, I ran to 14 different people on the street. Told me that I was very sick and needed to get to the hospital.
Excuse me, sir, we're gonna need this gurney.
Oh, no, and I'm sick.
He's worse.
14 people telling me to do something. I do it. Oh, damn, that hurt.
Mr. Arnold, we need you to lie down on your back, stare straight up at the ceiling, and try not to move your head.
I got Levinson on the phone. He wants to know who's assisting.
Tell him I am and tell him we're starting now.
You're gonna be just fine, Mr. Arnold.
Coming through!
There's a fall carnival on the football field every year. Last year, my dad was supposed to take me, but he had to work at the foundation all weekend. So I went with my friend Rachel and her family.
And that's where you saw Matthew.
It's okay, you can tell her.
Me and Rachel, we were on the Ferris wheel because it was the only ride her parents would let us go on. In the middle of the ride, the Ferris wheel stopped, and we were just hanging there. And then that's when I looked down and I saw Matthew. At first, I wasn't really sure that it was him. So I shouted his name. And then he turned around and I got to see his face. And so that's how I knew that it was him.
Did Matthew see you too?
No. I don't think he knew who was shouting his name. He just walked away. After the ride stopped, I tried to run after him, but he was gone.
But you're sure it was him?
Yeah, it was definitely him. He was wearing, a red sweater.
Like in the picture?
Yeah. Yeah, like that. But it was probably a different sweater.
Yeah. Well, after you got off the Ferris wheel, what did you do?
Well, I called my dad, and he was there in like 10 minutes. The police and everything. They looked all over the place, but they didn't find him. When the police left, me and my dad stayed, and we kept looking until the fair closed.
Well, what about your friend Rachel? Did she see Matthew too?
No, she missed the whole thing. She didn't even know I saw Matthew.
But wasn't she sitting next to you on the Ferris wheel?
No. No, I was by myself.
Oh, I thought you said you guys went on the ride together.
Yeah, I forgot. We were on the ride together.
But she didn't see Matthew?
No. I don't think so.
Kelly, are you sure?
I'm sorry.
What, honey?
I didn't see Matthew.
Yes, you did, honey. You told me, remember?
I didn't see him. I didn't see him.
Why?
I just thought.
Kelly, why did you tell your dad that you saw Matthew?
Because I knew it would make him happy. And I just wanted you to be happy. I'm so sorry, Daddy. I'm really, really sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. It's okay.
Morning, Sean. Are we trading desks again?
Here, take it.
What's this?
Transferring a case to you.
Allison Shepard. Is this your foster mother with the cookies?
You all right, okay? Should have transferred it weeks ago. See, it turns out
She has feelings for you.
when we met last night, she asked my advice. She wanted to know if I thought she should take her ex-husband back.
What'd you say?
Well, there's all these reasons why she should. Emotional support, financial assistance. I think the guy really likes her. Maybe they have a shot.
But?
But what I wanted to say was no. Don't do it. Don't take him back. You can do better. What was running through my head the whole time was, what about me? See, it turns out I have feelings for her.
What did you tell her?
I told her to come in today and talk to someone else. I suggested you. She'll be in after lunch.
I guess I have some reading to do.
He's going to be fine. He's got a significant recovery ahead of him, but he's out of the woods.
Oh, thank God. Can I see him?
In a few minutes, he's still out. Mrs. Arnold, there's something you need to know. We made a mistake here last night with Otis. I made a mistake. I didn't see what I should have seen on his x-rays, and I released your brother. So if he wants to hold someone accountable, or if you do, that person is me, Lily Redeker. I can spell it for you if you'd like.
You mean for the big lawsuit?
For whatever reason.
I was a waitress for 20 years. I understand pressure. Mistakes happen. Biggest lawsuit in the world won't change that.
No.
But I'll bet the farm you won't make this particular mistake again.
That would be a pretty safe bet.
You have the list of counselors? Talk it over with Megan and bring her by sometime next week.
Thanks so much, Maxine. Everybody here has just been so helpful.
We'll spread the word. We can always use more foster families. You remember Sean?
Of course she does. Because it was just yesterday that...
I have to get back to work, so thanks again.
Say hi to Megan.
For what it's worth, she thinks the world of you.
Yeah. So what's happening with her ex?
He's moving back in. They're going to give it a try.
That sounds like a good plan.
Are you all right?
Yeah. No. I think I might be spending too much of my life on this job. Could be what's happening with Eric or the holidays, but sometimes it seems like I've got nothing outside of this place.
My daughter has banned me from the house for the evening. My fiancé's in China. How would you like to get out of here early and go get dinner?
That'd be nice.
The petition in front of me is a request for a court order declaring Matthew Powell legally dead. This is not a criminal trial. The law for such a ruling simply requires that the petitioner prove that the person, Matthew, was exposed to a specific peril and that it's more likely than not that he is dead. Tragically, I believe that the burden of proof has been met. I am ruling that Matthew Powell is dead. I will not minimize your loss by presuming that this ruling will ease your suffering or bring you any closure. That said, it is my hope that this ruling will motivate the state's attorney's office to take a closer look at the case against Darryl Wilkie. One way or another, Mrs. Powell, you will have your day in court, and I hope that you get the answers you need. Mr. Powell, I would encourage you to look at your family and see that as a parent, you still have a job to do. You need to honor the memory of one child without losing sight of the other. I can't tell you how to do that. But I hope you find your way.
Amy Gray? I'm Mitchell Raskin. I'm from the court.
What court? My court?
You have a court?
Let's start again. You are...
I am the family relations officer. You're involved in a custody dispute, is that right?
Oh, God.
I'm here to observe.
Now?
I believe we have an appointment. Is that a problem?
It's just not a good time.
Amy, we're all waiting for you.
Is there something going on in there you'd rather I not see?
Oh, forget it. Just come on in.
Jonas said he'd rather take the bus to school than get back in that car. Zachary's refusing to even go to school tomorrow.
Look, I know my mother's tough, but she didn't mean to hurt anybody.
What she did in that car was simply a form of abuse. I'm sorry.
Who was abusive?
Can we not use that word? Just dial it back a little bit.
Why is he here? Who are you?
This is
I'm a friend of the family.
I think we're all talking about the same thing. We're gonna have to reduce the number of kids in the carpool by one.
Carrie, please.
It's Terry. Anyone home? Amy!
Oh, for the love of God.
Hello. I'm Maxine Gray, Amy's mother.
Mama, I thought you were going to be out this evening.
Dinner ended early, and all the movies were sold out.
No, they weren't.
It seemed to me that I should come back here and defend myself.
I'm glad you're here. I, for one, would appreciate hearing exactly what was going through your mind when you decided to verbally assault our children.
You must be young Zachary's mother.
That's right.
He's a very sweet boy. Bright, well-spoken, but he has a short temper. And his devotion, his passion for professional wrestling, it translates into a need for him to repeatedly punch and poke the boy next to him. And that boy would be, your son, Jonah.
Zachary punched Jonah? He gets that from his brother.
He's a boy. He'll outgrow it. They all do. But until he does, I told him that he had to sit on his hands for the duration of the trip. And speaking of Jonah...
He said you yelled at him and gave him homework?
He complained about my choice of music. According to him, it sucked. And at that point, I insisted that he listen to Mozart. And yes, I told him that the next time I drove, he would be walking, unless he could tell me where Mozart was born and name 2 of his operas.
Mom!
Which brings me to your lovely young lady.
Oh, geez.
No, and she really is quite lovely, especially when she's not spitting bubblegum all over her lap. And as you may know, I told her that I would fine her 5 cents every time she used the word like extra grammatically. She owes me 15 cents. I was just trying to make a point.
That's a great idea. I mean, I've been trying to get her to stop saying like every 2 seconds, but it's like impossible.
And that would be a nickel.
Mom.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Mrs. Gray, you can drive my daughter every day. I'd be honored.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize. I never wanted to kick you out of the carpool. I was just going along with the group.
Then I guess this meeting is adjourned. Amy, was there anything else?
Nope.
Ladies, thank you for your time.
Is Lauren around by any chance?
She's sleeping.
Who are you?
This is Mitchell Raskin. He's from the court. He's here to observe my parenting skills.
Oh. How do you think it's going so far?
Before you go all Surgeon General on me, I did not come out here for a cigarette. I came out here to drop water balloons on unsuspecting patients, but this just seemed like a better idea.
I need to talk to you.
Don't let the cloud of secondhand smoke scare you off.
So what, you're just not going to let me apologize? Is that your strategy?
You have nothing to apologize for.
You were right. When we were talking to the patient's sister, I didn't want to tell her it was me. That I was the one that dropped the ball. That's why I paused. I don't know what I would have said if you didn't jump in.
I think you would have told her the truth.
What do you want out of this?
Out of what?
Out of this. You caught my mistake. You saved a man's life and my career. What do you want?
What do I want? I don't know. Buy me a burger sometime.
A burger. Right. You've got this major piece of leverage now. You are going to want something.
That's not how I look at it.
That's the way everybody looks at it.
Who's everybody?
Everybody I've ever worked with.
So apparently you've only worked with the most cynical and opportunistic doctors on the planet. Wow. Can I just say that your bar for normal human behavior is really low? And that comes from somebody who spent time in rehab.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. You are going to want something.
I like my burgers cooked medium. With thick steak fries on the side. I don't like curly fries. I never have. Have a good night, Doctor.
Kyle. Thank you.
You were great tonight, Mom.
Yes. Well, I have my moments.
I'm sorry that I snapped at you. I overreacted when I got all those phone calls. Should have just asked you what happened.
You have a lot on your mind.
I am terrified I'm going to lose Lauren.
Help me with these lights.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime. Can the detectives see the true motives behind a seemingly random crime? Find out on Law and Order. Next.
Want to see my edict?
Hey, Noodle, just give me a minute. Put my stuff down and take my coat off and come over and see your edict. Wow.
It's for American history. Doesn't it look cool?
That is by far the best looking edict I've ever... How did you do this?
I learned calligraphy.
When did you learn calligraphy? Who taught you? Did Leisha teach you?
Mom, take a breath. Grandma taught me.
Well, Grandma taught me calligraphy, too. I never got it this good.
We're supposed to make up a bunch of rules for a just society, like they did in olden times.
While enjoying a game of dodgeball, the loser shalt not throw the ball with all thy might at the head of the winner. Good rule.
I need to make it look old now. Miss Biddle said tea stains are good for that.
No, I know something better.
That's Grandma's lighter.
No, this is an edict ager. The trick is to control the flame and just tickle the edges.
Lauren, stay back! Stay back! Stay back! It's okay. It's all right, honey.
They're here someplace.
What is all the banging down here?
I can't find the coffee filters.
When I was in college, we used underpants when we ran out of filters.
They used to be right here, near the coffee maker.
I relocated them to a more sensible place. Either move somewhere. The glare off of Amy's new refrigerator makes you look dead.
I've been working really hard lately.
That was not meant for you. That was meant for me.
Well, nonsense. It was for that silver monstrosity.
Mom likes things to stay the way they were. You're lucky she lets you wear long pants.
I brought you the new contract to book the Athenaeum for next month. All I need is a signature and a bigger deposit.
Is there ever going to be coffee?
Keep your underpants on.
Why must the deposit be bigger?
Because they don't trust us anymore.
Because you keep postponing.
What's the matter with you? Didn't you sleep?
I was up late.
Were you by any chance respecting a bowel? Or am I projecting? Am I also projecting that you desperately need a cup of coffee?
I had to do my homework over.
Why?
Because someone burnt it up.
What would you like for breakfast, sweetheart?
It was Mom.
An accident. People have accidents. And to make it up to Lauren, I am participating in her school fundraiser.
Have you ever done that before? I don't think she has.
Lauren's school has booked one of those authentic colonial places, and we're going to go and pretend it's the 1700s.
We're gonna live just like they did in the olden days. You wanna come, Grandma?
Yeah, come on, Ma. It'll be like nothing ever changed. Ever. Since the 18th century. Just how you like it.
Please, Grandma.
Well, since you've asked so nicely.
Zola,
I'm here to defend somebody.
I didn't ask.
Well, that's why I'm here. To defend somebody in a court case.
Not to thank me for the flowers.
A guy sends a girl flowers to apologize for calling her up in the middle of the night from a bachelor party, drunk. What's the proper response?
When someone apologizes to me, I either forgive them or I don't.
You know the only 2 times you've been nice to me, you've been drunk?
You've never been nice to me. Zola, those are only 2 times I've been under the influence in 10 years.
Fine. Apology accepted.
Go out to dinner with me.
I can't go out with you. I'm seeing someone.
Oh.
That's why I can't go out with you.
I got that.
I'm doing court to defend somebody. I can't. I'm seeing someone. Like you were born yesterday.
What?
It's insulting. Like you can't take the hit. Should you just say, Bruce, you're a great guy, but I'm not interested in you. Period. End of chapter. Case closed.
You don't think she really has a boyfriend?
Please. Her? What kind of guy would throw himself onto that buzzsaw? Though it's just that snotty, impatient, feisty quality that really makes her hot. You're right. I bet she has a lot of boyfriends.
Perry to revoke commitment. The Merrills would like to regain custody of their 6-year-old son, Harley.
Your Honor may recall the police found Harley wandering the streets in the wee hours. Mrs. Merrill had a crack cocaine problem, and Mr. Merrill was in jail.
Tell me how things have changed around the Merrill household.
Things have changed, Your Honor. Mrs. Merrill has been sober for 6 months. She attends parenting classes and is gainfully employed.
And I see here that Mr. Merrill is out of jail.
Praise God, Judge Gray.
Your Honor, Mr. Merrill has paid his debt to society and, in fact, has experienced a spiritual awakening which has completely turned his life around.
I will remind Your Honor that Mr. Merrill was incarcerated for assaulting Mrs. Merrill.
Simon received a letter from the warden recommending his model behavior and the Bible workshop that he started.
What about AA meetings, anger management classes?
Once I was able to accept God into my heart, all anger and the need for alcohol left me.
In addition to God, would you consider accepting parenting classes and regular AA meetings?
Whatever it takes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a leap of faith of my own here. I am granting the parents' petition for revocation and sending Harley home, but I'm also ordering 6 months of protective supervision.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge Grant.
I'll see everyone back here in 3 months for an update.
Yes, Maxine?
I need half a day off.
Fine.
I'm going on a school trip with Lauren and Amy.
Have a great time.
To the Freedom Inn.
The role-playing place? Where you live as though it's 1770 and you pump your own water and strangle your own chicken, that place?
I was thinking more knitting by the fire. Amy reading poetry. The men cleaning their muskets. What are you doing?
Extrapolating next year's budget shortfall. Should I be factoring in your salary here or not?
Why do you ask?
Will you be working here next year?
Why wouldn't I?
Because you're getting married to a rich man, which you hate discussing, so...
Jared is busy with his work. I can't imagine not being busy with mine.
Good, great, fantastic.
I tried retirement. I was so bored I constructed a Hindu temple out of macaroni. And I wiped out my nest egg day trading.
Well, you won't need to worry about a nest egg anymore. Which you hate discussing, so... Yeah, but still, you could travel, see the world. You could go anywhere you wanted to. You stay in 5-star hotels, or you could travel light. You could pack a small bag and a credit card. You fly into Portugal, or you hop a freight through Basque Country into France, the Loire Valley. Forget about your foster son being charged with manslaughter, and get a job apprenticing a stonemason. Fall in love with his beautiful daughter.
I'm guessing we're not talking about me anymore.
Insert your own dream here. It's just something to consider.
case which creates social change. That way it gets incorporated into the system legally as well as becoming the social agenda. It's a three-prong approach: public policy, public practice, and public opinion.
What's up? How you doing? You got a minute?
Well,
Gordon Parker. Hey, Bruce Van Axel. It's only you have to make up a boyfriend to get rid of me. I'm a grown-up, I can take the hit. That's all I want to say. Good luck on your case, man.
That is one tightly wrapped, hardwired, intense brother.
I'd like some ice cream, please. Your new friend is ignoring me.
You expect it to serve you?
It does everything else, doesn't it? Defrosts itself, adjusts its own temperature, warns you if the milk is turning sour, deodorizes itself. Chocolate chip, please. Don't make me ask again.
Okay, Mom. I will serve you a porringer of ice cream. And this is a noggin, and this is a trencher. You memorizing this? Because we're supposed to know it.
I don't want to.
Yeah, well, we still have some time. We can figure out some way to get out of this. What's with the hairy eyeball?
You promised Lauren.
I was plagued by guilt then. I feel better now.
You say I'm inflexible, but one little bump in your routine, and you want to break a promise to your daughter.
Mom, I have been dispensing justice all day. Now I have to come home and learn 200 archaic nouns.
You've completely lost your sense of fun.
I have not.
I'm not saying you don't have your reasons. It's Michael trying to take Lauren, plus other recent events, and what you face on the bench. Day after day, it takes a spiritual toll.
So what do you think I should do? Stick my head in an oven?
Life offers a bounty of opportunities. I wish you would embrace them. More importantly, I wish you would pass that opportunity on to Lauren.
Like you did to us.
As a matter of fact, yes.
Come on, Mom. We all know Dad was the fun one.
You only think that because he died first.
Okay, fine. We'll go.
And we'll try and have some fun.
If I can remember how.
Sarcasm is not fun, Amy.
I don't want to interview a new pediatrician. I want to have lunch.
That phone has rung 6 times. 7. I can't believe they allow these sick kids to just run all over the room.
Yeah, pediatrician's office. Go figure.
8. Someone should answer that phone.
Our old pediatrician wouldn't stand for this.
We're not going back to Dr. Lawrence.
Why?
Remember when Ned's belly button scab wouldn't fall off? And I asked Dr. Lawrence, I said, why won't Ned's belly button scab
And
fall
he
off?
said, don't worry, it will.
Yes, that's what he said at first. But later, when I pressed him on the issue,
1,000 times.
he told me. I don't even want to think about what he told me.
It was the autoimmune thing.
He said, worst case scenario, it could be indicative of an autoimmune disorder. I mean, what kind of doctor goes from, oh, it's nothing, don't worry, to the worst case scenario in one quick step? That is lousy bedside manner. Dr. Bartol's office, can I help you? Can you call back? Ah, when was your appointment? Well, let me check the schedule. I found the appointment book. Okay, would you like to reschedule? Next Tuesday at 9?
She's a very take charge kind of gal.
Weird lady to the right.
Greetings to ye on this fine day.
Hi there.
Prithee, what sayest thee, young wife?
You're supposed to talk old school.
Yeah, right. Yea, verily.
Good day, kind sir. 'Tis brillig. And we are in need of shelter and
Sustenance?
after our arduous journey.
Prithee enter.
'Tis Brillig? It's from the Jabberwocky.
We're in, aren't we?
Wow. Is there a petting zoo here?
Ah, we have goats, chickens, pigs. You'll have to meet Wilbur. We also have a vegetable garden. We strive to be self-sufficient. I'm Reginald Hoyt, your innkeeper. All conversation at the Freedom Inn shall be done in proper English of the times.
Yes, I have my book of proverbs and vocabulary.
Not memorized? Ah, well. Old Mother, wouldst thou provide the particulars of birth and family?
I'm sorry, are you addressing me? It's a little confusing because I'm not your old mother.
Prithee.
Reginald, listen, I'm willing to put up with a certain amount of nonsense out of fun.
We are the
I am
Grays,
not-
Amy, Lauren, and old mother Maxine.
Uh-oh.
Well, I understand that.
You should have gone round to the back.
No, we're here as guests for the school fundraiser.
Well, some be guests, some be servants.
And we be servants?
Don't look at me.
'Tis the luck of the draw, young wife. 'Tis fate, 'tis providence, so round the back 'tis.
All right, how much extra 'tis for a young wife to slip to the innkeeper to become a guest instead of a servant?
Step lively, step smart, for the passage be narrow.
Come on. It'll be fun.
Come along, old mother. It'll be heaps of fun.
We'll see you then. And please remember to bring your insurance card with you. Thank you. Welcome to Dr. Bartolf's office. Is your son sick or is this a well visit?
He has an earache.
Please take a seat on that side of the room and the doctor will be with you shortly. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone, but Sally ran off to marry a veterinarian. So, are you the temp?
Not exactly.
Good, splendid. Give me 5 minutes, send in the next patient, okay?
I have to get back to the office.
I'll see you at home. Dr. Bartolf's office, can I help you? What are the symptoms? Oh, that'll fall off by itself. Mm-hmm. So how big a scab are we talking?
Hey, Bruce, right?
Hey, Gordon. You with Zola?
It's an interesting question, really. Depending how you mean it.
I mean, is she with you now?
No, she's not. But what you need to know is that Aquarians seldom lie to avoid conflict.
Why do I need to know that?
Because Zola's an Aquarian.
Are you her client or her astrologist?
I'm her man. I see why you were confused, though. I thought you were a client, too, this morning.
I am a client.
You have feelings for the lady. I appreciate that. She's terrific. You know, you sense an underlying attachment. I'm up with that, too. She bonds with people. It's her particular skill.
Hey, Gordon.
But my bond takes precedence. Are you hearing me? I have a prior claim on her heart, and I trust that you, as a highly evolved spirit, will respect that. Are we copacetic?
Are we what?
Are you hearing me?
Are you telling me to stay away from your girl?
Hey, dude, let's not make a big alpha male thing out of this.
She turned me down.
Yeah, but you put a vibe out in the world, and I wanted to address it.
Consider the vibe addressed.
Anyway, it couldn't possibly work between you and Zola.
Out of curiosity, why not?
Well, you're a Virgo, right?
I have absolutely no idea.
Trust me on this. Wouldn't work. You're literally star-crossed. Be well, my brother. It's all good. No hard feelings?
Not even one. Dead man walking.
check the middle bed, see if Goldilocks is in it.
It's spare. That's the word for it. Spare.
Upstairs, the guests slept on feather jack beds under handmade quilts. But the servant's life was without frills.
Truth in advertising.
Even the servant's clothing was made of rough, drab material.
Oh, what a miserable life.
Well, that's how servants lived back then.
I meant ours.
Amy.
I'm just kidding. This is gonna be fun. Being a servant won't be so bad. Especially if the alternative is going to bed.
Kitchen servants are required to light the stove 4 to 5 hours before mealtime, which means rising long before the sun.
What's that?
Our costumes.
Costumes?
Oh, Judge Gray. Or I should say, scullery maid. You'll look positively fetching.
Dr. McCarty.
What the hell?
I was going on break-in. Somebody in a pickup truck just dumped her at the door. Before she passed out, I think she said she was raped.
I'm gonna need a rape kit and make sure the cops are notified. All right, I need a hematocrit, IV, and let's cut the clothes off.
The doctor will call you back once we have the results. Okay? Bye-bye.
Oh, you saved my bacon today, Miss Gray.
Chaos must be tamed. That's my theory. So, can you see me now?
I don't think that'd be a good idea.
But why? I waited all day.
Because I'd like to offer you a job, and I couldn't possibly employ a patient.
A job?
Yes. As my receptionist, part-time, $15 an hour.
But I'm pregnant.
Well, pregnant women work.
I have a son in preschool. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Well, when your son's at school, you can be an at-work receptionist.
I'll have to ask my husband. Oh my God, did I say that? No, I don't have to ask his permission. I make my own decisions. I'm just a little out of practice. Or it's hormones. So, what do I want? A job? Yes. I'd like a job. I'm good at working. I'll do it.
Good. I'll see you Monday.
Yes.
All right.
See you Monday.
Excuse me. Oh. Gentlemen and gentle ladies, if I might have a word with you before we begin our glorious evening repast.
Cooking in a fireplace is dangerous. Are my eyebrows singed? You're fine. Just hold your side up straight because you're spilling something on my
Servants should be seen and not heard.
Firstly, I welcome thee to Freedom Inn, where yesterday's way of life lives on.
And on.
It was the Dutch who first explored Connecticut, but it wasn't until 1631 when the Podunk Indians invited the British to visit that the real growth began.
I guess that showed the Podunk.
Prithee, havest thou not respect for history?
Is there something the scullery maids wish to share with the gentle folk? It was Thomas Hooker, a Puritan.
I'm so sorry.
It's just the Puritan named Hooker.
It's ironic.
My tray beeth hot.
Yet ours beeth heavy and hot.
And slippery indeed.
If I might get through this without interruption from the kitchen help, we can move on to our repast. If the scullery maids will reveal on the count of 3, 1, and 2, and 3.
Oh, God.
This pig was raised in our own yard, and we honor Pig Wilbur.
That's Wilbur? Oh, no!
Oh, zoons, Reginald. Did you absolutely have to give that information?
Yes, sir, I'll have them paid.
We've identified her as 14-year-old Michelle Novins.
14?
We're looking for her parents now. 14-year-olds get raped. It's a hard world.
Well, if she was raped, it was months ago. The hemorrhaging was due to uterine atony, probably caused by placental abruption.
All right, I appreciate you not talking down to me because I'm a cop. But I need you to talk down to me because I'm a cop.
She had a baby within the hour.
Where's the baby?
As soon as she wakes up, we'll ask her.
But if she left the baby outside somewhere, I don't know how long it'll last in the cold.
As soon as she is conscious, I will call you.
I'm gonna ask around about the truck that dumped her off. See if that leads anywhere.
I know you're conscious, and I'm sure right now you would just like to keep your eyes closed and hope this all goes away. You're a kid who made a big mistake and you're scared. But if you don't tell me where your baby is and it dies, then you'll be responsible. I'm gonna give you a few minutes to think about that, and then I'll be back.
Did it even occur to you for a moment that I might not appreciate being treated like a piece of property to be haggled over?
Are you referring to the conversation I had with your astrologist?
Go ahead. Make fun. Gordon's the kind of man who's easy to mock.
That's God's own truth. Just out of curiosity, what does he do for a living?
Sound design.
Look, if he doesn't have a job, that's cool.
Clubs, concerts. He has a highly attuned ear. I'm not discussing him with you.
He came to see me. And I'm glad he did, because I don't know what I was thinking. You being an Aquarius and me being whatever I am.
Unlike you, Gordon's very open-natured.
I just can't believe you're ragging on me about how white my world is. Brother called me dude.
Gordon is a wonderful guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's that.
Gordon's a great guy with great ears. That's that. Case closed. You want to have dinner with me, don't you?
I can't.
But you like the concept. You like that I'm asking you. You're even considering saying yes.
I can't. Good night, Bruce.
It's over. I'm not gonna stop asking.
Knock yourself out, big man.
Okay, Miss Novins, moment of truth.
Dr. McCarty? We found the girl's mother. She always wore these huge clothes. It's the fashion, baggy. To think she could be pregnant. She's 14. Who's the father?
Mrs. Novins, I know that this is a lot to digest, but I'm afraid we're running out of time. There is a newborn out there who needs our help.
What can I do?
Get Michelle to tell you where she had the baby.
She didn't even tell me she was pregnant.
Do you have any idea where Michelle was after school today?
At a basketball game at Taft High School. She went alone. I think.
You have a car with lights and sirens, right?
Yeah, they provide us with those.
Taft High School, check the washrooms.
In the 18th century, girls learned to cook and clean in their father's house. They weren't even allowed to go to school, And women were considered the property of their husbands. That's why they took their husband's last name. Is that why you changed your name back to Gray after you and Daddy got divorced?
Oh, I don't know, Noodle. I think I was just finished with being Amy Cassidy.
Grandma, when you marry Jared, are you going to change your last name to Duff?
No.
Really?
Maxine Duff sounds like a line of orthopedic footwear, don't you think?
But your real name is Maxine McCarty.
I was only Maxine McCarty for 20 years. My true self was formed after that, while I was Maxine Gray.
So if a girl doesn't have her husband's name, then she has her father's name? Is that fair?
A gentleman has come calling, young wife.
Saved by the gentleman caller.
Judge Gray, yowza.
Wasn't a God, you look incredibly sexy, Yowza, was it?
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm all right.
Are you done?
I believe I am, Judge Gray.
What is it?
It's an OTC.
What's an OTC?
An order of temporary custody. My daughter is a judge.
I'm sure they didn't have OTCs in the 18th century.
Take a ride on that thing, Martha. It would suit you.
Do you have to go?
It's the Merrills.
Yeah, there's a little boy who needs some help. I'll be back.
I don't think that's what
Hey, you know what, Reg? The 21st century needs me for half an hour, okay?
The door be bolted at the stroke of 10. If you knock after, I shall not open it.
Fair enough.
Oh.
Honey, I know you have to get back to civilization for a good reason, but if you are not back in time, well, I will make thy life a living hell.
Dr. McCarty?
Did you find the baby?
Yeah, a boy.
Where is he?
They couldn't tell at the scene if the child was stillborn or died afterwards. I'm sorry. I know you did everything you could to get the information.
Will you be arresting her?
Yeah. What a waste of life.
You mean the girls or her babies?
Both, I guess.
Judge Gray, I hope you won't sign the OTC.
Mr. Merrill got drunk and struck his wife. Both of those are good reasons to remove Harley from the situation.
I've slipped and fallen, but my intentions are pure.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Your Honor, the state is not going to press charges in this domestic dispute. And I'll remind you that Mr. Merrill has not had a chance to benefit from the programs you assigned to him.
No, Mr. Shelton. Mr. Merrill was given a chance, which he lost. I'm signing the OTC.
Thank you, Judge Gray.
Why are you wearing that stupid costume?
Mr. Shelton.
Now, what, is she nuts? I won't have my son taken away by some lunatic judge.
I really thought. What happened to his spiritual awakening?
I thought he was sincere. I would have given him the same chance you did. I realized you didn't ask me for my opinion.
Thank you for it anyway. Hey, Bruce. Does it seem to you that I'm not as much fun as I used to be?
Fun.
Am I a downer? Have I lost my zest for life?
Judge Gray, have you looked in the mirror? You've been through a lot lately.
So you have noticed I'm not as much fun.
You'll snap back.
So of mine. How can she sleep? It's like stretching out on a small slab of scratchy cement.
She's having a wonderful time. How about you?
Oh, you were right. I'm not really enjoying much of anything these days. But I'm glad you brought it to my attention.
You are?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to pass on the same zest for life that I grew up with to Lauren. Especially now that you're not going to be in the house anymore.
Oh, you'll be glad to get rid of me. You can put bowls of balls any place you like. You can store your coffee mugs wherever you want. I'll go live in a snazzy townhouse and store my coffee cups wherever I want. And Jared, that sweet man, will let me do whatever I want.
Ma.
He would never argue with me all the time or tell me that my kitchen cabinets are dowdy.
I said dated. And I'm sorry.
No, Amy, I love all that. That's the way we do things, you and I. We always have. It's always been like that. We keep each other on our toes. You're the one who was right. I hate change.
So do I.
You know who passed on zest for living in the family? Edward. All I passed on was hating change.
Mom, are you having second thoughts about marrying Jared?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure.
Because this sounds like second thoughts.
No, I'm more certain about marrying Jared than I ever was about marrying your father.
What?
Oh. Edward was always a little too, I loved him. But this man is...
Ma, I'm not really ready to hear this part.
No?
No.
Well, all right. I'm definitely marrying Jared, and I'm moving out of the house. Things change. And I'm happy about that.
But you just said...
Have you never experienced conflicting impulses? I want to change, but I'm afraid to change too much. And what if I quit my job and start traveling the world? I might get spoiled. And then what happens to the pain in the ass, fire in the belly? Let's go change the world. Me. I want everything at the same time. I want to stay with you. And I want to spend all my time with Jared.
So do I. That's what I want too.
Yeah, I want to travel the world, but I want to go to work every day.
I know exactly what you mean.
We can't have it both ways.
Why? Why can't the world be like that?
Mrs. Novins, Michelle's awake now. You can see her if you'd like.
Obviously, she has some mental problems. What else could have caused this?
Oh, gosh, let's run through the possibilities.
You're blaming me?
Michelle's 14. She got pregnant, but somehow you didn't notice that because she was wearing baggy clothes? Rather than tell you she was pregnant, she had the baby alone in a girl's washroom during a basketball game? It was a boy, by the way. Your grandchild was a boy. I apologize. You have to realize that Michelle was not thinking clearly. Trauma, blood loss, pain, fear.
Yes.
One of these days, though, it's all gonna sink in. And when that happens, she is gonna need her mother.
She's never needed me before.
Michelle's being here shows how much she needs you. So you can go home and do whatever it is you've always been doing. Or you can go in there and sit with your daughter and start to be the mother that she's gonna need through what's coming.
Thank you, Doctor. But what I think Michelle needs is for me to put my energies into getting her a good lawyer and a good psychiatrist and arranging to move her to a better facility.
Yes, Amy.
You asleep?
I just answered yes, Amy. How could I be asleep? But honey, I'm not sure that this is gonna work. Okay, so maybe we can both. Are you comfortable?
I took a man's family away from him tonight.
I'm sure he deserved it.
He did.
Then you did the right thing.
He didn't change. He's the problem. I thought he had, but I was wrong. So maybe people don't change as much as we think they do. And that's sad.
I prefer to believe that we evolve as we get older.
But there's a silver lining. People not changing. It's sort of comforting. So that means that just because you're marrying Jared...
I know. And if you believe that, you also get to believe that underneath it all, you're just as much fun as you ever were.
I am fun.
I know.
Especially for a judge.
Good night, honey.
Kitchen staff, arise and shine. Report for duty ere the sun rises and finds us lacking.
It's time to get up. I have to fetch the Camry.
Are there any swear words in that book? Ma, I know you're not sleeping. Ma, you're not fooling anybody.
আচ্ছা আপনি ওই দিন আপনার আম্মার সামনে আমার লগে এরকম ব্যবহার করছেন কেন?
আমার ইচ্ছে হয়েছে আমি করছি আর আমার পিছে ঘুরে লাভ নাই।
কেন? আমি আপনার ভালোবাসি না, করবো না কেন?
বেহায়া মেয়ে রে বাবা, তোমার তো আমি ক্লিয়ার করে বলছি যে আমি তোমার বিয়ে করব না।
আরে আপনার আম্মাই তো আমার পছন্দ করতো, তো আপনি শাদি করবেন না কেন?
তাহলে তারই বিয়েটা করো।
জি জি জি, আস্তাগফিরুল্লাহ, কি কইতাছেন? আমি আপনার আম্মারে কেন শাদি করব? আমি তো আপনার শাদি করব। আর আপনি যদি আমার শাদি না করছেন তাহলে কয়ে দিলাম ব্লেড দিয়ে আপনার নাম আমার হাতে লিখুন।
তোমার যা ইচ্ছা তুমি তাই করো, আমি একদমই ভয় পাই না। আগেরবার মাইনে নিছি, খেলা ছিল দেখা, এটা খেলা না, এটা আমার জীবন। আমি জীবন নিয়ে ছেলে খেলা করতে পারবো না।
আমি হাঁচা হাঁচা কইতেছি, আমি কিন্তু ব্লেড দিয়ে
হাতে পায়ে গলায় মুখে সব জায়গায় যেখানে ইচ্ছা সেখানে লেখো, ইংরেজি বাংলা ফার্সি যেটাতে পারো সেটাতেই লেখো, আমার কিচ্ছু যায় আসে না।
আপনার আমি শেষবারের মতো কইতেছি, আপনারা আর বেশি সময় দিব না, শুধুমাত্র 12 ঘন্টা সময় দিলাম। এই 12 ঘন্টার মধ্যে আপনি আপনার মত বদলাইবেন, নাহলে কইলাম আমি হাঁচায় ব্লেড দিয়ে আপনার নাম লিখে ফেলাম, আমার কেউ আটকাইতে পারবো না।
আরামসে তুমি সিগারেট টানো, বুঝো নাই শান্তিতে, আর ওদিক দিয়ে কাম সারছে।
কেন কি হইছে?
আরে শুনোস না, ওই মেয়ে তো ডেঞ্জারাস একটা ঘটনা ঘটায় ফেলছে।
লেট দিয়ে হাত কাটছে, এখন কি হইব মামা?
ওই মেয়েটা
বস কি মামা? হাত
কেন ওই মেলার তোর কোনো কথা হয়েছিল?
কালকে রাত্রেবেলা বাসার সামনে এসে দাঁড়ায় ছিল, আমার 12 ঘন্টার আলটিমেটাম দিছে।
এই কিসের আলটিমেটাম দিছে রে? হ্যাঁ
আরে ওই বিয়াতে রাজি না হইলে কি জানি।
এই কথা তুই আগে কবি না।
আরে আমি কি বুঝছি নাকি?
আরে না বাবার কি আছে বুঝোস না, ম্যাথ একটা ডেঞ্জারাস। এখন যদি কিছু হয়ে যায় মামা, আমাকে তো পুলিশে ধরে নিয়ে যাবে।
আমি কি করছি?
ও আমি কি করছি কিছু জানো না? না ওই বেটা আইনার মারপে জানো জীবনে তো থামে তুই জাস্তে জানবি কেন? তা না আমি গেছি জানি। ফোন যে কোনো হলে আত্মহত্যা প্ররোচনকারী যেই হোক না কেন, তার নাম যদি একবার থানায় গিয়ে কয় মামা, তাহলে তোর খবর আছে। এখন তুই কি করবি তুই চিন্তা করে দেখ।
কি করছে সব? এই লাইলি বাইচা আছে তো?
হ্যাঁ শুনলাম ও তো বাইচা আছে।
কোন হসপিটাল আছে? আমি যাই একটু দেখা করে আসি।
হসপিটালে যাই দেখা করে। হসপিটাল থাকলে এতক্ষণ তুমি চৈত শিকার ভিত্তা থাকলা, বুঝো নাই? আর তুমি যাই হয়তো বাসায় আছে। এই তুই কি ওর বাসায় যাবি?
তুই যাবি মামা?
হায় রে খোদা, তুমি আইছো। আমি জানতাম তুমি আইবা। আমি লাইলে রে কইছি তুমি আসবা। চ্যাংরা হও আর রক্ত গরম হও, মানুষ তো। তোমার মনের ভিতরে সেই প্রেমটা আছে।
আচ্ছা আমি লাইলির সাথে একটু দেখা করবো।
লাইলির সাথে দেখা করবা?
কেমন আছে ও?
আছে ভালো, আসো আসো, তোমার আমি একটু দেখা করাতে আসো।
এইসব কি?
প্লেট দিয়ে তোমার নাম লিখছি, বানান ঠিক আছে?
একদম ঠিক আছে। কিন্তু কি বলো বাইক না, ভালো হয়েছে না? আমি কিন্তু লাইলিতে কইছিলাম যে লাইলি ছবি তুইলা ওরে পাঠাই দে। হয় কইছে যে না, কিছু জিনিস আছে এগুলো ছবি তুলে পাঠালে সঠিকভাবে দেখা যায় না, সামনাসামনি দেখতে হয়। এর লেগে তো এতক্ষণ ধরে তোমার জন্য অপেক্ষা করতেছি।
এইসব পাগলামির কোনো মানে আছে?
আছে না। তোমার আমি শাদি করব, তুমি আমার শাদি করবা, করবা না?
এই তুমি কি আমার বলদ পাইছো? বলদ এই পাশে দাঁড়ানো লোকটার মতো।
নীল তুমি আমার মামার নিয়ে কি করতেছো?
আমি বলবো তুমি শুনবা। মানে এই যদি তোমার হাত কাটার নমুনা হয়, হ্যাঁ আমি জানলে আমি জীবনেও আসতাম না। আর যদি হাত সত্যি সত্যি কাটতাও তাও আসতাম না, কোনো লাভই হতো না। আমি তোমারে বিয়ে করব না। তোমার মতো মেয়ের সাথে শুধুমাত্র মজা নেওয়া যায়, বাড়ির বউ করা যায় না। তোমার মধ্যে ওই রকম কোনো এলিমেন্টই নাই।
তুমি একটু বেশি বেশি করতেছো না?
এই মাঝখান দিয়ে ঢুকে গেলেন? হ্যাঁ সাদে কি আপনার মাইনছে হাবলু কয়? এর লেগে আপনার হাবলু কয়। কারণ ঢুকছেন যখন, তখন আমারে না বুঝায় আপনার এই ড্রামাবাজ ভাগ্নিরা বুঝান। আমি ওরে বিয়ে করব না, আমি মরে গেলে ওরে বিয়ে করব না। মানে নিজের তো কোনো মান সম্মান নাই, পরিবারের মান সম্মানটা যদি খোয়াইতে না চাও তাহলে এসব বন্ধ করো। সবার সামনে অপমান করবো না।
থাক ভাগ্নি, তুই কষ্ট পাইস না। হয় তোরা বুঝতে পারে নাই, আর যেদিন বুঝতে পারবো ওই কান্দা বুক চাপলাইব, তখন বুঝবো যে কি জিনিস হারাইছি। তুই কান্দিস না ভাগ্নি, একদম কান্দিস না। তুই থাক, আমি আইতাছি, দেখতেছি।
ও তুমি
ডরাইছেন?
ডরাবো কেন? মাগের এরকম আতকা মায়া মানুষ সামনে চলে আসলে তো একটু চিন্তা লাগেই। আর কালকে আবার তোমার মামার সাথে চ্যালেঞ্জ, বললাইছো শেষবার মতো চুল দাঁড়িয়ে আশ্রয় আসতে।
শুনেন, কালকের খেলায় আপনি হারবেন।
বাবা কনফিডেন্স দেখছো মেয়ে।
যদি না হারছেন তাহলে কিন্তু বললাম এটা দিয়ে আমি আমার হাতে আপনার নাম লিখুন। মানে তো তখনই বুঝবেন যখন এটা দায় আপনার উপর পড়বো। সরেন।
আরে ভাই নাম লিখবা মানে? কি মুসিবতে বললাম, জিততে না পারে এখন 2 নাম্বারই। কি করছিস?
এটা কি করলি তুই মামা বলতো? শেষ পর্যন্ত ওই হাবলু মামার কাছে।
সরি বলছি তো, মিস্টেক হয়েছে। আর এটা খেলা না, খেলাতে হার জিত থাকি।
এই কথা তুই বলতেছিস? 3 বারের চ্যাম্পিয়ন নিলয় বলতেছে এই কথা, শেষ পর্যন্ত খেলায় হার জিত থাকেই।
হ্যাঁ বলতেছি, এবার হয় না আগামী বার হইব। আর শোন, আমাদের না বয়স বেশি হয়ে গেছে, ঠিক আছে? এখন এটা জুনিয়রদের করা কাম, আমরা অনেক সিনিয়র হয়ে গেছি।
এই দাঁড়া জুনিয়র, হ্যাঁ? কোন অ্যাঙ্গেল ওই হাবলু মামার তো জুনিয়র মনে হলো কত দেখি? এই কথা শোনার পরে ওই হাবলু মামা সানফ্লাওয়ার তেল মাইরা ঠিক ঠিক করে হাসবো। তুই এমন একটা কাজ করছিস মামা, এলাকায় মুখ দেখানোর মতো অবস্থা থাকবো না।
আমি টাকা দিতেছি, একটা কাজ কর, বোরকা কিন না পিন্দা করতে থাক, ঠিক আছে? এলাকায় মুখ দেখাইতে হইব না।
দাঁড়া, আমার মনে হইতেছে কেউ তোরে তাবিজ করছে। তুই কখনো তো এই কথা বলার ছেলে না, কি হয়েছে কত?
কোনো তাবিজ টাবিজ কিছু না। আর শোন, আনোয়ারের রহিম বাবুর ছেড়ে আনতে পাঠাইছিলাম, কই হয়?
ভাই আসসালামু আলাইকুম ভাই।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। আনোয়ার কই?
ভাই পাড়ায় কই জানি গেল গা ভাই? কামটা কি হলো ভাই? কালে গেম রাইডা গেলেন?
যাওয়ার হইছে, কাজের কথা আসি। লাইলির পার্টিতে কাচ্চি করে দিব
না ভাই, পারুম না, মাফ করে দেন ভাই। আপনার লেগে আমার জান হাজির, ওই মায়ের লেগে আমি ভাই কাচ্চি বাচ্চি রাঁধতে পারবো না ভাই।
কি কই? রহিম ভাই মাথা ঠান্ডা, মাথা ঠান্ডা। তোমাদের ছাড়া হইব না তো বিষয়টা। এমন কাচ্চি খাওয়াই ফিরবো, মনে করো 7 দিন যাতে কেউ বাথরুম থেকে বাইর না হইতে পারে। বুঝছো না বিষয়টা? পারবা না? যাও এবার রেডি করে গিয়া যাও তাড়াতাড়ি।
একটু বড় খবর হইব।
তোমরা আমগুলোকে বইতা।
আরে আমরা তো খাবোই, আগে আপ্যায়নটা করে নেই। পুরান ঢাকার ট্রেডিশন তো আপ্যায়ন করা, কি মামা?
এই তো দুষ্ট লাইনে আছো, এরকম লাইনে থাকলে তো কোনো সমস্যা হইতো না। খুব তো কইছিল খেলার কথা, এখন বুঝছো খেলা কি?
এখন একদম ক্লিয়ার মামা। আপনার একটু কাছে দিই। আলু দেই, আলু আলু।
না না আলু না, গোস্ত দাও, গোস্ত দাও।
এই যে গোস্ত দেই।
অনেক মজা হয়েছে। এই লাইনে দাও, লাইনে দাও।
আলু
আলু লো লাইলি লো। তুমি লই বানি
খাইতা মজা তো।
তুমি একটু খাও।
তোমরা আমগুলোকে খাইতা।
আরে খাবো তো, খাবার তো আছে।
আমগুলোকে খাও।
আরে মামা খান তো, আছে কিছু লাগলে বললেন কিন্তু।
মজা হয়েছে
আসলে
না, তুলা গোস্ত দাও।
এইবার লইয়া কয়বার হয়েছে?
ভাই 5 বার।
তোমার এত করে কইছি যে একটু কম কম খাও, মাগনা খাওন পাইলে হুদাই হামাম করে খাও।
দুলা ভাই আমি তো মাগনা খাওয়ান খাই ভাই, আমরা তো বাজেতে জিতছি আর আমি তো পরিমাণ মতোই খাইছি। বিশ্বাস করেন দুলা ভাই, আমি নিশ্চিত ওরা খাওয়ানোর মধ্যে কিছু মিশাইছে। লাইলিও তো পরিমাণ মতো খাইছে, ওরা তো পেট নামছে শুনছি।
হ্যাঁ, মানুষের খায় কাম নাই, তোমার খাওয়ানোর লোকে কিছু মিলাইছে।
ভাই আপনি জানেন না, ওরা অনেক ডেঞ্জারাস, অনেক ডেঞ্জারাস দুলা ভাই। ওরা প্রত্যেকটা ধরে ধরে ফাঁসি দেওয়া উচিত দুলা ভাই। আমি খালি একটু সোজা হয়ে দাঁড়াইলই, তারপর দেখেন আমি রাজপথে নামবো, রাজপথে নামবো, আমি আন্দোলন করবো মগো ফাঁসির লিগা।
যাও যাও, তুমি তোমার কামে যাও, আমি তোমার লেগে কেড়ে বয়ে থাকো।
আপনি একটু বয় ভাই।
Muốn cho 50 tỷ quá đeo gì nè.
ba con này gì chắc ở đây rồi đấy. Bé thấp nó xong một yếu nhất bữa sau những muốn lợn đi rồi anh chạy ra anh bày tiếp vậy tiếp tiền thôi tuyển nhân sự là qua thần tích này đóng mặt của đao Pandora mình có một hai nói mình lấy nhau ở đây của ánh sáng là chi làm cái bốc đồ của ánh sáng là cũng được. Lớp tạm ngửa của chế độ ít lắc đầu biết đâu bất ngờ đéo này là lên được nữa 7%. Tất cả chỉ là gần thôi sao thằng nhóc này. Này mọi người có 10 củ nữa. Rồi cứ bay kiếm chút kìa xong rồi cứ xôn rồi ra sai bay thôi hay là mình phải nâng cái lên lại. Ui buồn chưa trứng là ai dùng để trứng vàng vào được tiên à buồn chưa bé buồn điét anh rồi này còn nhau gì đấy hổ gai cuối cùng nào đây ạ đừng nói thì cho xảy ra chuyện quá hỏi giấc gì vậy cái dành ra nữa quý chị người dân quý mà rồi vài bia đừng để cho nó ngày đủ giờ một chút bốc lửa ấy 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 20 là mắc rồi từ bình quân hết tại vì kiểm tra này con bài của thầy đây biết ngay không phù hợp với sao ấy không phù hợp như là đánh bay phát chuẩn luôn đó rồi không chuẩn vẫn thế không chuẩn đâu vẫn thế rồi anh tưởng là thay nó sẽ chuẩn cơ ấy thêm một đồ mình sẽ là thêm này hai cung sự bình xét 2 cung không ai thèm lấy rồi có người lấy rồi có người lấy xét nào Mumu về sẽ này sẽ lấy đi lao 2 cái này không được vậy đây cái thú tượng luôn vừa đúng cái thú tượng đẹp chi tiết vậy 16 wow thêm một củ bay tiếp một lần nữa phép đéo này bay cao lên búa làm tay đấy xích được đổ đi xin cái món đồ rồi không hỏi sao hết có rồi dừng luôn nhá ê không được phải đổi đồ ấy thầy ơi rồi đau điên xăm độc dược ai còn bật này may mắn là sự sấy được sự đau ấy có một cái xanh rồi nó cắn rồi không nhỉ thắng được không bây đâu ra đây thua thắng này just game thôi thời gian xảy rồi chứ vậy bye yeah we girl chịu rồi 21 anh em để đủ 30 rồi phía được nó một cách để chơi uầy nó đang x2 lắc sự kiện sự cục béo này tí 2 Cái này à? Rồi trả đồ ấy ông cháu ấy. Xong. Bên thằng này ra cái đầu gì đây? Ra cái đầu ca gì vậy? Rồi you get the first và tiếp theo cả nhau cái gì vậy đầy quá. Đây là tiếng này nữa. Good. Vâng, giáp. Rồi anh nhà sẽ lên 30m đây. Rồi xong 30m. Rồi bay ơi. Rồi lên rồi đấy. Được. Hiện tại lên 30m 31,5 lên chặt. Một nháy thôi cho biết thế nào là. Ôi thua này. Thua chết mất trích à. Thua thằng Saga vũ lửa cái này gì đấy. Tình nhân sử gia xạ thuật sư. Đéo có lỗi mà lấy bắn đánh mà. Một cái gì đấy găng tay thần thánh sự không hợp lý đâu. Được không nhỉ? Đéo được. Có 2 đổi xoay mà rồi. Lên 30m búa. Út. Ok thế ơi. Yes. Đưa ăn cái này nữa. Rồi quỷ á. Mà cái đâu rồi? Bông xanh à? Bông tím này. Tỷ cái à? Một tỷ cái này, giáo lý. Qua luôn mà. Nhỉ, cộng mấy level liền mình giáo lý này. Bình. Thế hài hước vậy. Tao hài với mày đi à? Sojin à? Không lý không? Là cái đồ phép rồi. Một đồ nữa cho Sara nữa xong. Là cần đồ điểm rồi. Cái đồ phép kia mà giữ chưa qua ấy đã sử dụng được nhưng mà anh cần tanh thôi. Nếu một đồ tanh. Thực ra cũng không giáo đâu, mình giữ một không giáo không biết. Không có cuối cùng mà thì phải đủ bài mới đến chết. Để chết 10. Rồi lỡ tay rồi. Kiếm tiền như này. Bay một tỷ lần như này, tiền đi. Work was my life. Rồi chuyển tụi ánh sáng. Chuẩn bố à. Đây rồi, rồi ánh sáng sửa kinh ấy, sửa gắt cắt. Đến nỗi thế. Ê, có cái gỡ đồ này. Sẽ ra một cái đồ khác bị sự gỡ. Yes. Một đồ ánh sáng như cây xa. Từ từ dồn cây xa. Đéo ra cây xa. Có ai lấy cây sao? Chỉ đéo dồn ra cây xa 2 khóc. Sao thắng? Đến đây là mắc ở 34 củ. Wow, mình sẽ cần bao nhiêu? 34 củ. Ui đáy sâu ấy. Mình phải 5 tỷ mới qua cái kia. Và revert tận 2 lần nữa. Thế là một lần 750 tỷ nữa. Với cả một lần nữa phải chắc là phải 1.000 tỷ. 1 chi liền. Cái gì? Được anh trên đi mở trứng cái này em mở trứng này xin đấy. Ui khỏe đấy. Mấy thằng này đốt hết tiền rồi. Đốt tiền chết. Chết 8 à. Để chết 9 ha. À chết 9 tao đốt tiền mình chút 9 máu anh vẫn bình thường. Được rồi. Mày đi cũng lấy 9 đâu. 200 máu tạm thời cứ ra xua đâu rồi. Thế vẫn ăn chốc đi này. Cái xa này. Đây luôn đi. Cái xa 2. Không để bọn anh sống dai được. Dám mua lá với thầy. Đéo lắm mà không. Tờ heo. Con này lắm đéo nhỉ. Nhớ cái đéo rồi cơ. Budia. Budia quẻ. Kia đâu. Kia ta. Chôn bố à. Budia đâu. Được bố xích bài. Cứ bay cho anh nhá. Bay cho anh. Đây. Anh xích bài. Đéo ai cầm một đĩa ra 9 thôi cắt được dao bật lấy may mắn sự kinh ấy nhé cái xăm một vào bị đau đấy không phải đau điếc rồi thầy tăng tốc cho em 34M thì yếu nhở. Không mới yếu điếc. Trên tay pet cũ à. Ở đây con pet này. 93 cũ, 30 cũ pet sự kinh kinh. Xa ra một cái đồ thủ xinh đẹp đẹp đấy. Còn không được. Để cái đấy là đồ thủ rồi. Sao đâu. Mà quả trứng cái 30 củ mở được 3 quả là mở ra xịn luôn, sự kinh nhất. Một con này yes 200 triệu còn chưa theo và em cũng bet gì yes út ra mà bay và bay bố toàn tốc luôn từ đầu cho con nhé. Ok con ơi. Yes. Ui cái này ánh sáng à. Giờ lắp đồ á. Lắp đồ này, lắp đồ tanh à. Thì xong được giờ rồi thì là yếu ấy. 33 máu sống được mất còn một bằng là 2 trong một thôi. Ui quá nè. Bây giờ 50M bài 50M bài này sao rồng à. Quất đi đâu. Giao quất đi ạ. Rồi mày đi. Sao đi thì đâu, vẫn là chốc của anh nữa, vẫn là chốc. Ui quất đi. Anh quất đi. Anh quất đi. Em yêu anh lắm. Đây rồi anh rồi. Đi rồi. Cái con bài đéo gì nhở? Sao từ một chỗ? Con bài gì? Ui Ilava. Rồi con phát lỗ sàn. Rồi. Nhỏ là Ilava. What rồi tập 4 à. Lilia 3 nếu đánh được vừa tới Lilia 1 thằng có thằng đi qua Lilia 1 xong game leader à. Nó rời